What's up, Heat fans? This is Nic Rohloff of the Heat Report. Not in studio just yet for the day, but wanted to bring you guys a video surrounding your Miami Heat, who have won 5 games in a row and now hold a record in 2023 of 6-4, a really good stretch for your Miami Heat. But today there's a rumor floating around, or maybe even a report, if you will, about the Heat being interested in Alex Caruso from the Chicago Bulls on a potential trade. I find it a very fascinating idea, and I want to talk about how he would benefit the Miami Heat and if the Heat and Pat Riley should go do this trade. First, though, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed because we cover the Heat on every single piece of news, rumors. We do watch parties. We will be live tomorrow for Hornets vs. Heat in-season tournament game. So hit that sub button if you want more Heat news and rumors. We cover you no matter what. If I'm in studio, if I'm out of studio, you will be covered. Make sure to join us for that watch party tomorrow as well. But here is the report from an anonymous Eastern Conference executive. He said they need a guard in the worst way when talking about the Miami Heat. They're not out there beating the bushes for a trade or anything. That is not how they operate. They are going to say they like Josh Richardson, they like Drew Smith and all of that, but they've got to be concerned, and if the Bulls let it be known that Alex Caruso can be traded for, they'd have to be first in line. He is an Erik Spoelstra kind of guy all the way. They have an eye on him for sure. We all do. And I find this a very fascinating idea because what have I been saying for the past 2 months? Now, the Heat are on this 5-game winning streak, so maybe things are trending upward for your Heat. But I still think the backup point guard role is something that the Heat need to address. With Kyle Lowry being up there in age, 37 years old, you don't know how durable he will able to be. No injuries as of yet, so knock on wood. And he's actually provided you with some good things early on. He damn near had a triple-double against the Memphis Grizzlies. So Lowry has shown some flashes this season early on. Drew Smith, as much as I've been a Drew Smith hater in the past, he actually has done a good job defensively. And in that game last night against the San Antonio Spurs, he was terrific coming off the bench. He had double-digit points. He also was disruptive on the defensive end. And then the other guy in the point guard rotation, Josh Richardson, he was abysmal. When I mean abysmal to start the year. But the past 2 games, he damn near shot perfect from the field against the Atlanta Hawks and had the go-ahead 3-point shot against the Spurs yesterday evening, and then followed it up with a tough mid-range as well to help put the Heat over the top to win this game. But before we dive completely into Alex Caruso and what the Heat should be willing to offer and if they should look into that Caruso trade, I want to get your guys' thoughts before I give you mine. Should the Heat trade for Alex Caruso of the Chicago Bulls? Type Y for yes, type N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. All right, Caruso is a very interesting player, to say the least. He is one of the most elite defenders the NBA has. He is a point guard that can guard 1 through 3, and when the Bulls matched up against the Suns earlier this season, Caruso put the clamps on Kevin Durant. Yes, you heard that correctly, and no, I did not make that up. Caruso played excellent defense against the Slim Reaper, KD. He's not the most offensive player. He doesn't really average more than 8 points a game, but what Caruso brings to the table is things that, in that quote we read earlier, is completely correct. He is an intangibles guy. He makes the right basketball play. His rotations on the defensive end are terrific, and he's got a knack for getting in passing lanes and creating deflections and steals. He is an Erik Spoelstra point guard. And if he was traded to the Heat, would he start? No, they'd probably bring him off the bench, but he would be a very key piece for this Heat team in the long run. And I just want to throw out this idea to you guys. Think about this. A defensive lineup down the stretch to get a stop, to win a basketball game. You've got Alex Caruso at point guard. You have Jaime Jaquez Jr. playing the 2. Haywood Highsmith at the 4, and then Jimmy Butler and Bam at the 3 and 5. That might be the best defensive lineup in NBA history. And no, that is not me boosting it. Bam is the defensive player of the year. Haywood Highsmith has been unbelievable. We call him Haywood Locksmith on the Heat Twitter because that's how good he is defensively. And then you want to talk about a guy coming out of nowhere, Jaime Jaquez Jr., the 18th pick in this past NBA draft out of UCLA. He has been all that has been advertised and more. Sure, his offensive game needs some polishing, but that guy has been elite on the defensive end. We're living in a world where Jimmy Butler is actually the fourth best defender on this Heat team. I'm not kidding. Jaime Jaquez, Highsmith, and Bam are all better defenders than Jimmy Butler right now. It's unfortunate, but Butler is not trying his hardest in the regular season, and with his age going up and up and up as the time goes on, those three have passed him defensively. I want to break down more about Caruso's fit and how it would affect Tyler Hero and other players on this Heat team and what that trade package would have to be. But first, I got to give a shout out to Prize Picks, the sponsor for today's video, my favorite daily fantasy sports platform on the market. And if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, you get a first deposit match up to $100. I play Prize Picks every single day, and you know, if you tune in to our watch parties, I have picks for every single Heat game this season. You could join me. You could join rapper Meek Mill and comedian Andrew Schultz and a whole lot more on the best daily fantasy sports platform there is, which is Prize Picks. They also give you an insurance reboot policy, which means if a player gets hurt in the first half of your game, and guess what? It doesn't matter because Prize Picks will yank him out of your selections and just go on from there. Only daily fantasy sports platform to do so. So check them out, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Get that first deposit match up to $100. One more time, prizepicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. All right, back to Alex Caruso and what he could do for this Heat team. He's also a pretty good three-point shooter. He's not going to do anything off the dribble, but he is going to catch and shoot and knock down some threes. So when Jimmy Butler and Bam draw multiple defenders, they can kick it out for Caruso, and he can knock down from beyond the arc. He is a better shooter than Drew Smith, who has actually knocked down a couple threes for the Heat. So in my opinion, Caruso is a really valuable player in the NBA. He plays winning basketball one. He's an elite defender. Some would argue he's the best guard defender in the NBA, and he'll likely be either first team all or second all NBA defensive this upcoming year. So you add this to this Heat rotation, and like that five-man lineup I said the Heat could have run just a bit ago, that is not giving up any points. I swear, if they need a stop, they're getting the stop. You don't have to worry about a thing. But the question is, how would he fit alongside like a Tyler Hero when he comes back from his sprained ankle? Well, I actually think it's a perfect fit. And if you're asking yourself about that question, there should be no concern because Tyler Hero will be able to still be that off-ball shooter that makes him so dynamic, coming off down screens, coming off pin downs, coming off curls, getting to the rim, pulling up in that mid-range. Tyler Hero would be able to do it all while having an elite defensive backcourt mate. Like, you'd be able to hide Tyler Hero defensively a little bit more when you have Alex Caruso shouldering the load of defending the opposing team's top guard. And then when you have the wings like Highsmith, Butler, and Bam, you don't really have to worry about Hero's defense, which, by the way, has been improved this season anyway and was on track to being Tyler Hero's best defensive season before he got hurt. Hopefully he comes back and is still able to defend at the level he was before he sprained that ankle. He actually had 3 steals in a game just before he got hurt. And I know steals aren't the BN or the end-all be-all, but Hero has been much more inept, I should say, or better to getting in the passing lanes, being more aware defensively, having those quick rotations, and he has proved to be a good defender for Miami, at least serviceable. Maybe not good, but serviceable, so he's not a liability at every single possession. What would a trade cost for Alex Caruso? It's tough. Like, there would probably be an argument that you need to send a first-round pick. That is a question of, would Pat Riley be willing to send 1 first-round pick and 1 player for Alex Caruso? I don't know if I'm willing to do that. One thing I am willing to do, it's going to break my soul, and if you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know where I might be heading for this. But since Jaquez Jr. has shown to be such a valuable piece in this Heat rotation, there is one young man that has not been in the rotation as of yet, and it is my guy, Nikola Jovic. So would the Bulls be okay with trading Alex Caruso to the Heat for Nikola Jovic and a second-round pick? If the Bulls are blowing things up, Jovic could be a guy that they want to see and could build around in the future because he's a power forward that can play make, he can shoot, he could rebound. Jovic does it all, and I think that's what a trade would look like if the Heat did want to go after Alex Caruso at the deadline. The Bulls aren't that good of a team, so there is a very high chance that they end up selling off all their pieces, and Caruso will likely be a hot commodity in February at the NBA trade deadline. Another possibility is, what if the Heat go all in and trade for both LaVine and Alex Caruso? That would cost a lot more, probably multiple first-round picks, Jovic, and probably salary filler. But listen, that is a route maybe Pat Riley can go. And this season, hopefully the Heat continue this upward trajectory and get a good seed in the playoffs and make a move at the deadline to bolster this roster for a potential finals run once again. We will have the best coverage on YouTube surrounding your Miami Heat at the trade deadline and the rest of this NBA season. So make sure you hit that sub button, join the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Hornets versus Heat. Hopefully the Heat can win their 6th in a row and move to 2-0 in the in-season tournament. Nic Rohloff at the Heat Report. I'll see you then.